back with the leader, Mark Levine, to the early 80s. Yeah, I started doing like living room jam sessions at his house on McGee Street in Berkeley, and then he started hiring me for little gigs and whatnot. And we've just been playing. I was a fan of these records. Actually, the producer, Bud Spangler, turned me on to these Moacir Santos records, the Blue Note records.
All of these songs are by Moacir Santos. I had the good fortune of working with him on his 3 records he did for Blue Note. It's actually just 1 record that I did with him. This is like a tribute album to his memory, his music, and it's something I've wanted to do for 35 years. Moacir recorded 3 albums for Blue Note Records in the early 70s, and I think Blue Note was expecting something like Brazil 66, and when they didn't get it, they didn't do any promotion on those records, so they pretty much died. They didn't really sell very much. And then a friend of mine tried to license them from Blue Note a few years ago, and Blue Note went down into the vaults and could not find the masters. They were lost. So as a result, Moacir is just not very well known in this country.
I'm really bothered by it.
Oh, dude. Oh, dude. Hey. Oh, was that on? Did you record? Hey.
Yeah, I just like that. It sounds like I'm running away, like I'm like ahead of
Maybe should do another thing.
Is it?
Yeah, we can do another one.
I want to do mine again.
Pardon? Want to do the solo again? April Child?
Rolling on tape 1 of April Child.
1, 2, 1, 2.
Destiny, it's a Destiny's song, you know. Yeah, there's a lot of good history with this band.
I think he is truly a world musician in that he's able to combine all sorts of different things together. There's a tremendous amount of layering in his music, and I think it's reflected in the way we play his music. There's the drums are playing one rhythm, the congas are playing another rhythm, the bass and piano are doing a third rhythm, and it's all this busy rhythms that all seem to fit together really, really nice. And then Mary is playing a very, very simple melody on top. Some of the melodies almost sound like nursery rhymes. They're so simple.
Oh, it's fabulous. I love the music. I love the musicians. And I'm very lucky to be a part of it. So we all know each other and have played in various situations together.
I'm a little concerned that we got drums, and John on the low end of his bass behind Mary, so it seems pretty cluttered.
So nice to put it relatively easy too.
Man, this one's actually one of my toughest tunes because I really don't know.
Fortunately, all of us are somewhat familiar with his music, and we all love his music, so it's a good combination of people.
Very nice. Nice change. That sounds good. He also is a little more spacious. Yeah, and he also put a little push on it.
One, two, three.
We were thinking maybe that I'll do it and he'll overdub some percussion thing.
Yeah, Mike, you could do it on cowbell.
I'm like,
The overdub session.
I'll do it on the cymbal for now and then. You guys can choose.
okay. It was the scariest thing I ever saw.
Especially the hi-hat part on the bass drum. I can't
It was just any of it. But in other words, it didn't matter what it was.
But they had rotten time, right?
Happily happy, take 5.
Before anybody say anything. Another thing that I had in mind for this album, and I think we achieved it, is that our own previous 3 CDs with the Latin Tinge were all Afro-Cuban in orientation and genre. And we continue to do that with this. This is Brazilian music. Some of it is bossa nova, some of it is samba. I think there's one Baião on there. But much of it is Afro-Cuban, it's Afro-Caribbean. It's even though Brazilian music and Cuban music both came from the same part of Africa, obviously they evolved differently in Brazil and in Cuba. So we've got a combination here of 3 different types of Western Hemisphere music with an African background: Brazilian, Afro-Cuban, and jazz. And to me, that's the essence of world music. Different genres of music combined to form essentially a new genre.